National story in News and Views. Back to school.
Morning, Garel. Morning, Garel. Pull your socks up. Pull your socks up a little more. I like to see you in the grey socks this morning. Very good. You know, it's grey, black, or blue, or brown. Very good, Garel. You're doing very well. Yes. Very good. Move along. Come on, assemblies in a few. Yeah. Penedo? Is that you, Penedo?
Morning, sir.
Penedo, is that really you?
Yes, sir.
Penedo, let me ask you a question. When school went on holiday for the summer, what color was your complexion? Come on, Penedo, speak up.
I was kind of dark then.
You were
sir.
dark-skinned, Penedo. Penedo, this September morning, what is going on with your skin color? You're brown today.
Sir, I was in New York for the holiday.
Penedo, in most places around the world, the climate is summer. The climate is hot in the summer, right? So you can't come tell me about you come back cool, right?
I didn't come outside any at all,
You
sir.
didn't come outside any at all? AC can't make you so brown when you're dark skin. What you doing with yourself, Penedo?
Sir, I go to the doctor and he gave me a cream for my eczema.
Penedo, tell me the truth. Ludlow Penedo, don't lie to me. You're bleaching. You're bleaching, Ludlow Penedo.
Sir, I'm not bleaching. I just apply cream on my skin.
What kind of cream you apply to your skin? As a matter of fact, don't call him. I don't care. Your mother know that you're doing these things, Penedo. Penedo? And look at your pants. They're tight. You don't have any room in them. How do you walk, Penedo? How do you walk?
But sir, I can't allow my pants to have room. Next thing, people who looking somewhere to live want to live in my pants.
Penedo, you're making wisecracks. Huh? We have detention and demerits for those things. You want an other mark in your skin today, Penedo?
Sir...
Ludlow Penedo, speak up to me. Why are you so brown? You were black when you left, you know you've returned brown. Penedo, you're not going to come here and confuse my teachers. They taught a black child, now they're teaching a brown man. You're looking like you're listening to too much. Yes, I know the songs. Right? Don't you come back to the school until you're black again. Call your parents.
But sir...
Your mother bleaching?
She don't live with me, she live in foreign.
I say if your mother is bleaching.
I don't know, sir. I can't see her from here.
What is your mother's complexion?
Well, when she left, she was black too.
And what is her color now?
Well, I saw a picture with her and she looked brown like me.
Ludlow, you're suspended. 10 days. Don't call the school.
Way to celebration, Rastafari celebration event on, that would have been on Tuesday. And they were stopped by the police and what they had was confiscated. So we're going to get a clear picture from the Ministry of Justice as to what are the policies in regarding the use of ganja, especially by Rastafarians at their events. We have Senior Legal Counsel Wilson Line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And how are you doing, ma'am?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm great, and it's good to have you. All right, let me ask you this first question. When the amendments of the ganja law came into being, maybe a year or so ago, were you the legal counsel for the Ministry of Justice then?
I wasn't the legal officer when it happened. There was another legal officer, Ms. Jamila Sims, who was very intimate with it. But she has since left the ministry, right, and I took up her portfolio in that regard.
And that would have been in this year?
Last year.
Oh, last year.
Like mid to late last year.
Okay, so you would have, long before now, been averse of the whole legal ramifications in regards to the ganja law and the amendments and so on.
Yes, I have some intimate knowledge of it.
All right. So the first question then would be, what is the current policy regarding Rastafarians traveling with ganja as a sacrament to events like the anniversary of the coronation of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I?
All right. Ron?
Roger,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The use of the term ganja law is not correct. I don't like that term.
Okay.
It is a dangerous drugs act because it covers more than ganja. I know, having met with several of the Rastafarian brethren, they don't like the term Dangerous Drugs Act because it is connoting that ganja is a dangerous drug.
So where's the common ground?
The law is the law, and it is called the Dangerous Drugs Act.
Oh.
Hello?
So when it comes to ganja, it's a straight dangerous drug?
It is, the ganja is listed. That. The thing is that because our act was done based on the international conventions on dangerous drugs, ganja is listed, or marijuana is listed, or cannabis is listed as one of those drugs that are, or that is a dangerous drug.
So let me ask you
Right?
this again. There is no such thing as ganja law in Jamaica.
No, it's not called the Ganja law.
Okay.
It is called the Dangerous Drugs Act. And with the 2015 amendments, we have another version, which is Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act, which sets out the provisions that allow Rastafarians to be able to use ganja as a sacrament without being prosecuted.
Okay. So why, in this case on Tuesday, Rastafarians were prosecuted
All right.
for
he
carrying to
wasn't,
the
as far as I'm aware, that he wasn't prosecuted. The sacrament was taken from him.
Why was it taken away from him?
Because as it is now, when you are traveling with Section 7C of the Act sets out that possession of ganja is illegal, right, save for personal use as a sacrament. When you're having events such as, an event as important as the Nabingi celebration, you really want to get, because there are provisions under the law that will allow such an event, or the persons who are hosting such an event, to get an exemption. With that exemption, we give letters, right, for persons who will be conveying ganja from place A to the venue, right? And that permission or authorization would prevent the police from seizing the ganja. That wasn't done in this case. And anybody can come and say that they are Rasta because they have locks and they just move freely with the ganja. The law is there to protect the Rastafarian brethren and to protect the sacredness of the Rastafarian religion.
All right, stick up in. Stick up in.
Imposters.
All right, stick up in. The person who was caught with the ganja is no known imposter. He, in fact, was a part of the overall committee that helped to shape the overall amendments. So we need to make that clear.
The police was aware?
If
the police that seized the herb was aware?
Well, I would think that he identified himself, of course.
Who? The gentleman?
Yes.
But if the police are, it's not a Mutabaruka or a public figure, right? So you can't assume that the police officer knew that. Say, for example, Ras Ayavi then is in fact a genuine Rasta and he's going wherever and thing. With the authorization from the ministry, all of that could have been prevented. You see, the Act doesn't clearly set out that, okay then, if the ganja is being conveyed, right, the police should give free passage despite who is conveying the ganja because the person is a Rasta.
All right.
So we have, because we've had under the previous administration, an advisory committee was set up, right, to assist the minister in identifying certain intimate issues within the Rastafarian community, right? A lot of the brethren that we met with, they would, when somebody submits an application, they would go through the application and tell us, whether or not we can accept this from John Brown because they know John Brown for 20 years as a Rasta, or we should ask John Brown to get two reference letters from two known Rastafarian elders and so on and so forth. So even within the community, right, you have persons who don't know that John Brown is really an adherent to the Rastafarian faith, right? So it's not like, yes, the brethren say he's a Rasta and he's going wherever and he's done this. The police may not know that. And you have to try and put yourself in the police officer's shoes.
All right. There are certain events on the calendar when it comes to Rastafari and their celebrations. This is one of the most important one. Does the Ministry of Justice, well, I would want to ask, in the calendar of events, would this be a part of what the Ministry of Justice has, or know that, when this time of the year comes around, this is highly likely that Rastafari brethren will be traveling with their weed to
Roger.
for sacramental. No, I'm just asking.
No, and I'm answering because I see where you're going. We don't have a calendar of Rastafarian events, right?
They don't think it's important as being in mind that Rastafari is a Jamaican religion. I'm listening, but I just asked that question for you to continue.
No, but guess what? You have an important event. The mechanisms are there, right? We're not going to tell you we can't give you an exempt event order for something as important as, because the law is there, to protect the celebrations, right? We won't tell you that we're not going to give you an order once the application is in order, right? You submit an application, every October you have a particular event, or every August you have a particular. Submit the applications, get the orders in place. It's as easy as that. But I don't think it's appropriate for the ministry to keep a calendar of Rastafarian events, and then what do we do with it? Just grant an order without an application?
No, I'm not saying that. But
Okay.
I'm just saying that, bearing in mind that Rastafari is a Jamaican religion, and these are events that is on the Rastafari calendar, it would help if the Ministry of Justice is aware of particular events, so that when it come around, we will have the to-in and the fro-in and the alabaloo and all these things that happen.
Roger, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you, but the Rastafarian community, they have a responsibility, right, to get the requisite orders in place, so don't come into this problem any at all.
But what if they do that and the police still harass them?
No, trust me. The police, once the order is in place and we issue those letters, the police will not harass them. This is something that has been tried and proven.
You serious? You sure about that?
Listen. Talk to First Man. Talk to Rastafari Roots Fest. I think it's Ras Ivy. Talk to Rebel Salute, right? Talk to the persons who we have given exempt event orders to already, and hear what they say. When an exempt event order is gazetted, we follow up and that order sets out that the organizers also need to make the police aware, right, of the existence of the order. The ministry goes as far as sending communication to the Commissioner of Police, right, to make them aware that make him aware that we have granted an exempt event order for this particular event. A list of persons will also be submitted to the ministry, and those individual letters that we do one letter setting out the names of the persons, right, who are authorized to convey the ganja, right? And the organizers will now make copies of that letter and give a copy to each person authorized to convey. Because, Roger, you must agree that if we just let it open like that, people will abuse the order and do everything other than what the order has granted them to do.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about everyday thing, We are talking about special occasion here.
But we're not talking about it's a special, an exempt event order is not an everyday thing, Roger.
Yeah.
It's not an everyday thing. It can't be an everyday thing.
All right, let me ask you this. Are you aware of the history of the police and Rastafari in Jamaica?
I have some knowledge because I've done some research on even like the Coral Gardens, which has really opened my eyes to some of the atrocities.
Right, and like in the days of slavery, where there are certain attitudes that still remain up to this day. Mm-hmm. Would you agree that there are certain attitudes within the force towards Rastafari and Ganja, even up to this day, although there have been amendments?
I don't know because I'm not a police. I am not there when the police is interacting with members of the community.
Okay.
And so I couldn't speak definitively to that.
All right. What kind of discretionary authority, if any, does the police have to allow them to travel with the herb?
The police as it is now, right? They don't have any discretion, quote unquote discretion, right? You are allowed to, for personal use, your 5 plants in your house, right? Each household, if you have several households on one premises, each household is entitled to 5 plants under the Act. Smoking of ganja is still, or smoking in public generally, is still illegal, right? The exempt event order or an order for, say, a play, and I'm telling you all of this to answer your question.
Yeah.
An exempt event order or an order for, say, a place of worship will make those particular places named in the order exempt from the restrictions on smoking, right? The police, the act doesn't set out, and as I mentioned before, doesn't set out whether or not the police have broad discretion, narrow discretion, any discretion at all. The act is specific as it relates to possession of ganja and so on and so forth. What the act does, it specifically states that ganja possessed for personal use as a sacrament in celebration of the Rastafarian faith, right, is exempt from the penal provisions under the act. So you won't look in the act and see, oh, the police should use their discretion or anything like that, which is why we encourage for these big events, for these very important events in the Rastafarian calendar, right? Persons, just the application forms, Roger, they're online, right? And a lot of the senior members in the community, they're intimate, they're knowledgeable, because as a matter of fact, they help to engineer the forms. Okay. Right, they're knowledgeable of the process and what policies exist in order to allow ganja to Rasta to enjoy their sacrament in a way that will not allow police to prosecute them.
All right.
So I get up tomorrow and guess what? I don't have dreadlocks, but you can't tell me I'm not a Rasta. Rasta is not about dreadlocks, correct?
Well, it depends on who is interpreting, who interprets it.
But just generally.
Right.
Because you have some persons who have dreadlocks and they don't have the kind of love and liberty that the true quote-unquote Rastafarian would have. Yeah, right? Yes. And so I get up and I say I'm a Rasta. I'm a better Rasta than say you, Roger, to saying you're a Rasta. Because I mean, do the healthy, righteous eating and the liberty in general, right? And I decide I'm going to transport 20 pounds of ganja. The police stopped me. I said, officer, I am a Rasta, and I am going to whichever mansion to have Rasta worship or Nabingi worship. And the police said, no, you're not Rasta because you don't have dreadlocks. But the Rastafarian community knows that I am in fact a Rasta. Mm-hmm. Right? The police can take the ganja. The police may lock me up and I go through the trauma of being locked up until my attorney comes and says, no, Section 7C said that this person can have the ganja. Well, the police will charge her already. We're going to have to go to court and come with evidence to prove that she's in fact a Rasta.
All right, why the police would just confiscate the ganja and send you on the merry way?
Why I couldn't say why they just take I can't speak to that any at all.
I see.
I can't speak to that any at all. Why they would do that, right? They really shouldn't arrest you if the ganja is over. It's over 2 ounces. How much ganja was it?
It was an amount that was to be used at the sacramental.
You don't know how much it was?
I'm not fully aware, but I heard it was confiscated, and the fellow was sent along his merry way. And he wasn't charged. Well, he really shouldn't be charged. No.
It is. I can't say why the police took the ganja and not to charge the gentleman. I can't speak to that.
We need somebody to speak to that,
Pardon me?
We need somebody to speak to that.
But the police would be the appropriate forum.
Oh, I see.
Because the police sees the ganja.
That's why I asked you earlier if you're aware of the attitude that might still exist up to this day. But we'll move on. All right. There will be more events for the rest of the week coming up in the celebration of Rastafari and the coronation of His Majesty. What advice, would you have for those who are genuinely going to these events with their herbs as sacrament?
You are allowed to have in your possession, anything under the 2 ounces, and I understand that 2 ounces, anybody at all, whether you're Rasta or not, the law allows you to have under 2 ounces it becomes a ticketable offense without being locked up or anything like that. And so I suggest that people don't try to, without the existence of the order, don't try to travel with 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 5 pounds of ganja. Because for each event, how much ganja can one person consume?
It's not sometimes. It's not about the consumption and smoking and smoking also. You know, you have altar purposes, you have religious rights purposes, and so on. You know, so we have to make that clear that it's not people just going just to go smoke because you have a lot of Rastafari who don't smoke. You understand? So you have to make that clear. Yeah.
I am aware of that, but as it is right now, because the event is actually happening now as we speak, right? It's something that started when? Monday?
Tuesday, yeah, the eve.
Tuesday, and you have another event tomorrow over. You have
some
over
events
the weekend.
that will be going on throughout the week, yeah.
And so nothing can happen from my part, right? Because the brethren were supposed to, and they are aware. We have quite a number of Rastafarians we have people sitting on the Cannabis Licensing Authority. We're now we had the previous advisory committee that assisted with the Rastafarian aspects of the amendment to the Act. And they are aware of the policies in place. So it's not news. It's not something that has been, you know, the law was amended and it was a secret. Right, so I'm surprised now. Even the other day when the grandson of Haile Selassie came.
Yes.
Right, the gentleman, he wrote to us at the last minute, at the 11th hour, asking for an exempt event order. Right. When I spoke to him, he advised that they didn't intend on having, for the Trenchtown leg of the event, they didn't intend on having ganja there or ganja in any great amount there. And I said to him then, well, if that is the case, you really don't need an exempt event order.
Yes.
Right? You really don't need an exempt event order.
Yeah.
People who are not Rasta. Let me tell you something, Roger. People who are not Rasta.
But I'm not really speaking on behalf of people who are just willy-nilly going and smoke ganja.
No, let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
People who are not Rastas, they're having events, right? And they're trying to make applications for exempt event orders for those events because they may have one Rastafarian element. Those applications, they've been turned down because they don't fit the purpose for the exempt event order.
Yeah, understood, yeah. That
right.
would be logical.
Exactly. And these are people who are not Rastas. So for Rastas who... I mean, this thing is so important to treat with it so callously, right? You have the provisions in place to protect you. Use the provisions. They're there to protect you as Rastafarians, to keep the imposters out. Use the provisions.
All right. Enlightenment today, madam. You're surely have some help.
I'm happy I was.
Yeah. There are some other questions that opened up, but we won't go there today, and we might invite you on another forum with other people to discuss this thing further. But so the advice is for the remainder of the week for those genuine.
Don't travel with anything over 2 ounces.
Don't travel with anything over to be safe.
Ounces. Yeah, don't travel with anything over 2 ounces.
Right.
So if it means that, don't travel with anything over 2 ounces.
All right. Okay. Until we get further clarification.
Until you apply for an exempt event order, man. Tell the brethren they need to do what they're supposed to do.
All right. Pleasure speaking with you. Here.
Same here.
Yeah, man. Respect.
All the very best.
All right. That was senior legal counsel in the Ministry of Justice, Karen Wilson, and we are standing by for news and sports shortly. A woman just here say, boy, that them should have buy, but it's another number. Yo, every day you hear the same thing, you know, when the number play. You know what's that number that I dreamed last night? So you buy it? Well, you want to say 6 more buy, you know, man. Sure. Yeah, as some man stay. All right. This is a stepping razor on IRA FM. And this is I, Roger Concrete Asphalt, holding the fort for Mutabaruka. And we spoke earlier with Miss Karen Wilson, the Senior Legal Counsel of the Ministry of Justice, and she telling the ones traveling if you don't have an exemption to go to any Rastafari event or to If you're traveling with your ganja, don't travel with more than 2 ounces. That's the warning from the lawmakers. Do not travel with more than 2 ounces of ganja if you are going to any Rastafari event if you don't have an exemption. All right? And remember, there's no ganja law. There's dangerous drugs law. So all them clarification there, you know, I'm certain we'll learn something. You know, we know already still, you know, but sometimes you need to, what you call it now in Jamaica, rivet in a man head. There's no such law as ganja law. It's dangerous drugs law. Always have that in the back of your mind. Yeah. All right, we should be speaking shortly with the president of the Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association. Of course, there was an unfortunate incident recently where a promising 14-year-old student, Nicholas Francis, on his way home from school, it always brings some emotions over me, you know, bearing in mind that I am a past student of this institution, and, you know, as a 14-year-old youth looking, you know, bright future either, you know, it's away, stabbed, rushed to hospital, he died on the way, but there were subsequent events after that. And it appears now that our children are really under attack in Jamaica, because subsequent to that, on Friday, 6 students faced unprovoked violence. 2 JC students, a second and a third farmer, were robbed at knife point in separate incidents and relieved of money for bus fare and their phones. There was 3 Arden school students who were robbed by masked men, and a 4th farm student at Kingston College was stabbed in Portmore. This is after them killed the youth, you know. He was stabbed in Portmore on his way home from school, and is only alive today because of the successful emergency surgery at the Spanish Town Hospital. A few months before, the country was also traumatized with the news of the transportation accident in Clarendon, where a number of other school students were injured. And we hear yesterday again that there was some robbery again with other students. So it appears that the children are under attack. Another incident happened, Robert Lightburn, where a man shot. Student was shot and injured at the Robert Lightburn High School in Trinityville, St. Thomas. Trinityville is a very important place, you know. We were one of the first teachings of Rastafari took place in Jamaica. More on that history next day. A 17-year-old student of Camperdown is in hospital now after being stabbed and robbed of his cell phone near Up Park Camp, South Camp Road. Up Park Camp, you know, on South Camp Road. He is reportedly coming from extra classes when he was attacked. He was stabbed in his side. He fought off the attacker and ran to the JDF camp, where he was assisted and taken to hospital. The robber thieved his cell phone and stabbed him below the rib. So you see what I'm talking about? There was another incident again, I think, at Haile Selassie School. 2. It's a serious thing, you know. We might talk and we talk and we talk and we talk, and we're not realizing that our future is being affected. Yeah. All right, we have Errol Holmes online now. He is the president of the Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association. Good afternoon, Mr. Holmes.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to your listeners. Thank you so much for taking some time to engage us in this very, very troubling matter that is affecting our nation.
Yes, and as a former student of Jamaica College and...
you're an old boy.
Yeah, man, straight.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And a current parent of a student at Jamaica College. I am in deep empathy with the entire JC community as we speak. And, you know, I would just, on behalf of everyone here, send our condolences to the entire family, the JC family and the family of the youngster.
Well, I want to thank you for that, because I also know that, as you have said in your preamble, this is really not just a Jamaica College situation. Right. We just happen to be the current voice. But as you've enunciated all of the other things that have happened since this matter. I mean, this matter happened on the 28th of October. Today is the 3rd of November. Yes. And we've had several instances.
Based on what we hear, there's more than a dozen.
Listen to me. I sat yesterday and talked with Mr. and Mrs. White, who are the parents of the young man at Camperdown, And it's only the grace of God. His mother is a nurse. She's actually nursing him there at KPH. I mean, it's only the grace of God why she is not in the same situation as Xavier Francis and Shona Hamilton at this point.
So it is clear that our children are under severe attack in this society as we speak.
Our children are under severe attack, and there are some things. I don't think we need to lose hope. What we need to do is to recognize what is happening and put those things in place that can arrest this issue. I refuse to put up my hands in despair and allow the 2% of this nation to let me run away from this Jamaica land I love. There are things that we can do, but yes, we are under attack, and there are things that we must do to ensure that we mitigate it, that we lessen it, that we contain it, and we move it forward.
All right. So on Monday, the JC Parentees Association, along with other stakeholders, held a peaceful, was it a silent demonstration by the school compound?
A peaceful, silent demonstration to let Jamaica and the world know that we find this matter insufferable. We don't want it to continue. We are going to take a collective stand, and we're going to send a voice to the criminal element that we are going to do what we can to preserve our children.
All right. And arising out of that, there were a number of proposals put forward to the government, yes, the Ministry of Education in particular, as to how we can arrest this scourge that is encroaching upon us as a society right now. Just give us a synopsis as to what is in the proposals and how we move forward.
There are 15 proposals, and of the 15 proposals, 4 or 5 of them can be dealt with immediately. It does not take anything much more than just will and perhaps some creative thought. Number one, we want to ensure that there's amendment to the relevant legislation, and the legislation of which we speak is the Child Care and Protection Act. The amendment to that legislation to provide stiffer penalties for convicted perpetrators of violence toward our children. When we wrote this idea, we did not know at the time that the previous government, under the stewardship of former Minister Lisa Hanna, had in fact done a lot of work, preparatory work in this matter. And when she came to the peaceful demonstration and joined by former Minister of Education, Ronald Thwaite, they both indicated that it really takes just a little bit more will and effort to ensure that this gets done. So we took this proposal, among with the others, to at a press conference earlier on this week to the current Minister of Education, and indicated to him that this was one of the things that is a low-hanging fruit. He concurred with us, and he's supposed to now be working with Minister Delroy Chuck, the Justice Minister, to ensure that this gets done. We indicated that we want to have this thing completed and passed in law before the end of this legislative year. What that will do is to send a very strong message to all criminals and pedophiles that if you do anything toward our children and we catch you and we convict you, you are going to be charged in a way that is different from everybody else.
Right.
So that's the first thing.
Yes, the first one, right.
The second one is that we understand that the JUTC is cash-strapped. We understand that they have some constraints. And while we want a bus system exclusive for our children, we're saying at this point, until we're able to afford that, let's have an implementation of students-only JUTC buses during the peak hours, mornings and evenings. And this is very similar to what the government of Jamaica presently provides for its own civil servants. If you look on the public streets, you will see government of Jamaica these large buses, and in them are only civil servants. We're suggesting that you take some of the fleet from the present JUTC and you apply them to the children morning and evening. During the rest of the day, you can put them into the general thing for the rest of the public passengers. But for children, let's put aside some for morning and evening.
Right.
Ford Focus Electric, a fun vehicle.
What we call the hiring of transactions. Who are these individuals? These will be people like special constables or people who are specially trained, much like the Transport Authority inspectors, who will be people who will be armed, individuals who are trained in the containment of criminals, people who are protective-oriented, people who will be traveling the buses in an ad hoc way, whether they're going to be doing it frontally in uniform or they're going to be doing it disguised. But we want them to be on our buses to provide that additional avenue of security for our children.
Yes.
The next one is what we call well, let me put it this way. We don't want any of our children any longer to be taking coaster buses. But if you say that in one breath, it means that we immediately have to replace those with JUTC buses, and we know we have a difficulty. And you hear every day that they don't have enough just for even the regular passenger load. So we're saying, listen, if you're going to have coaster buses taking our children, then all public passenger vehicles, the coasters and the JUTC, must be outfitted with cameras. And these cameras must be mounted in a way that they can visualize the entire bus. We're further suggesting that the installation of cameras must be a condition for the issuance of all road licenses. And if there are breaches of those road licenses, there are immediate and stiff penalties. Now, we know that the cameras are going to cost, but we don't think it has to be a cost to the Jamaican government. We think all the Jamaican government has to do is to approach the U.S. Embassy or the British High Commission and ask them to partner with us. We know if you go downtown Los Angeles, if you go in Times Square, if you go anywhere in any one of these two countries, for the most part, there are camera lit everywhere. They have cameras on the telephone poles. They have cameras on the light posts. They have cameras on traffic lights. They have cameras on public buildings. We just had through the U.S. Embassy a donation, a very rich donation of body cams for our policemen. We are of the view that the U.S. Embassy and the U.K. government has it in their interest for Jamaica to be economically viable, for Jamaican to be violence-free, for Jamaican to be a budding economy. It is in their interest because so many of our people are contributing to their own societies. It is not in their interest for us to be violence-ridden and criminally manned. And so we feel that they will contribute in a very practical way if we approach them with this regard.
Yes, I see.
And then a final one that is, in our view, a quick fix is there is a police post at the moment in the Halfway Tree Transport Center.
Yeah.
Now, we are not sure how effective this is. We think that needs to be analyzed. But the model that is there should be replicated as far as we are concerned in Spanish Town, in downtown Kingston, in Montego Bay, in Portmore, in Sablamar, in St. Mary, in St. Thomas, because these are centers where our children have to congregate to take buses. And all of these centers should be outfitted with cameras as well. Those are 4 or 5 quick things. There are several others, but those can be done between now and the beginning of the new year.
All right. Just to remind our listeners that we are speaking with Mr. Errol Holmes. He's the president of the Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association. And the JCPTA put forward a number of proposals to the Ministry of Education, the government in particular, of how, we can arrest the attacks on our children. So there are 15 of them. And the others, who do you say would be for the short and medium term? The medium to long term?
Yes, medium to long term, because there are several things that we need to do in terms of change in the culture. One of those things is this whole business about informer fidel. The thing that hits us? Nicholas Francis is a 14-year-old student. Nicholas Francis boarded a bus and sat at the back. Nicholas Francis had on his hand a small watch, which was less than $10 that his grandmother had given him in reward for being an outstanding student and one of her favorite grandchildren. He had a banger too. A banger is a watch that is a phone that is valued at less than. But it wasn't the banger. That's the point. The media didn't quite get that one right, but it's not your fault. It's really what was said in the beginning in all of the confusion. The banger wasn't the issue. The gentleman saw the watch and decided he wanted to watch. He goes up to Nicholas and he demands the watch, and Nicholas said no, and the man said no on the watch, and Nicholas said no, and the man said grab the watch, and they tussled because Nicholas is defending the watch. It was important to him. It was not the value, it was not even the fact that it had the right time. It was something his grandmother had given him, and he defended the fact that this man must not take his watch. The man grabs him, my brother, pulls him in the walkway, the passageway of the bus, continues to harass the man. People on the bus just saying, wanna leave the youth, drags him to the steps of the bus, stabs him in the chest, throws him off the bus, and it's showing him on the street while the bus is going. He breaks his hand and then runs away. And nobody, a bus filled with adults, nobody raises a hand in defense, except a fifth form Jamaica College student, who, when he couldn't take it anymore and saw the fellow running away, jumped through the window of the bus, putting himself in harm's way, and ran down the assailant, who eluded him. But the bottom line is the only human being who did anything was a fifth form Jamaica College boy in a bus crowded with adults. Now, my brother, you tell me. You tell me and your listeners. I would like to, I have a 16-year-old son. I have two boys. One is 21, one is 16. I would like to think that if any of my boys was in that kind of trouble, well-thinking adults who have not birthed him, I'm the one who birthed his mother, but well-thinking adults would rise to his defense. I would like to think that if you and I were in that kind of trouble, well-thinking adults, if we cry for help, will come and help us and not be frozen into ineptitude and doing nothing and allowing me to be killed.
You know, Mr.
We
Holmes,
don't live in a barbaric country. We live in Jamaica land we love.
You know, Mr. Holmes, when I usually go to JC, you know, we had a reputation, you know. And the reputation, there was a reputation where it said that JC boys were bad. But it's not necessarily bad, we were bad, you know. We were conscious of defending ourselves. Now, I know it's different times now. All of the holistic changes up at JC and a lot of things, and you know, which is why now it is being observed that JC is possibly the best high school in Jamaica right now. So we sympathize with the fellow and with the fellow parents and with the JC community. And let me ask you this. How confident are you that justice will be administered?
Well, let me answer the question this way. We know that on that bus, there were students from certain high schools. We are approaching those students and approaching their parents and seeking to convince them to come forward with their statements. We are approaching our legal assistants to use these legal persons to quote and prepare these parents and students so they can come forward. We know that there are adults who saw, and we're using your program and every other medium we can to say to Jamaica, those of you who are adults who witnessed this event, please do not let the children of this country be the only ones to go in the witness stand and say, I saw. Please come and help us to spread the message to those very children that we care, that we will stand up for them, and that we will support them. There is nothing else that you can do except to raise your voice in defense. And if you saw something, do not be silent. Go to Crime Stop, go to your police, give them your statement, come prepared to say what you saw. That is a critical message to send to our children that they are the future and we are preparing their future. If we allow the children to be the only ones to do so, we would have been doing them an injustice. And we're prepared to say that if you come forward and do so, while we don't think our justice system is perfect, and recent decisions in recent times have caused some people to wonder if it ever will be, but we believe we must respect our institutions, we must inform our institutions, we must strengthen our institutions. And the way to do that is to inform the institutions.
Right. And
there can be no justice if we do not speak up.
Right. Finally, I mean, we know that there's an alleged suspect in custody now as we speak.
There's somebody who's charged.
Yeah, and charged. Quickly tell us what are the immediate steps that will be taken within the short time frame from now.
Well, we understand that he is to be arraigned on Friday, or formally presented to the court on Friday. I suspect, I'm not a lawyer.
Friday tomorrow, meaning tomorrow?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes, tomorrow the 4th. We expect that there is going to be some kind of arraignment and a decision as to whether or not the charge is guilty or not guilty. And if the charge is guilty, then the thing goes exponentially. The charge is not guilty, then again the thing goes exponentially. You call witnesses, you enter the evidence, and a jury make their decision, and we fix this thing. But we want this thing done before December. It cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. This thing must be finished. If the man is guilty, he must be found guilty. If the man is innocent, he must be declared innocent, and we move on with our lives. But we need to have this thing completed so that the healing can begin. Xavier Francis no longer has a son. Petrona Hamilton no longer has a little boy to hug in her arms. On the day of the peaceful presentation, the demonstration when she came to give her support, she tried, but she had to spend the entire day in the ambulance. She couldn't handle it. The healing has to begin by people coming forward, and we want that to happen because Nicholas Francis must not die in vain.
Right. A perfect note on which to end. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Holmes, Errol Holmes, for joining us. And I tell you that I'm a bad attendee of the parent-teachers meeting, but forgive me.
Well, the next one, my brother, this is a plug. The next one is Monday the 7th at 4 o'clock. Beg you. Come now, man. Make us see your face.
Yeah, but I would work was still, but thanks much. You heard?
Nah, man. Tell you about this. This is a topical thing, man. You have to come sit down and do something with your picnic. Tell them so you need to get the evening off. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, November 7th. Carl Anderson Auditorium. Tell all the JC parents they must come because we need their support. There's many things we have to tell you. This is just a little thing that happened that was not a part of the agenda. We have to be dealing with Nicholas, but there are other things that we need to do to strengthen the school and all PTAs around the country. Every parent must go to PTA meetings to help to hold up the hands of the administration. So we're looking forward to seeing you on Monday at 4 o'clock.
All right, Mr. Holmes, thanks. All the best.
Respect.
Yeah, man.
Respect.
All right, Errol Holmes there, the president of the Jamaica College Teachers, Parent Teachers Association. Yeah, man. Jimmy Cliff, treat the youths right. All the boys and girls of today will be men and women of tomorrow. That has been with me from my idea, my knee, and if this is true. All right, we have now online Mr. Xavier Francis, and he's the father of Nicholas Francis, 14-year-old budding Jamaica College bright boy, who was killed recently. Mr. Francis.
Yes, sir. Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. You have on the radio?
No, I'm not near radio.
Okay, all right. I want to thank you very much for considering us and joining us on the program today.
Yeah, man, no problem with that, man.
On this very sad, occasion, the loss of your son. All right, tell us. I mean, all things unfolded. I mean, what happened? What happened? How you get the news? What really got on? Where were you? Tell us a picture.
The first call I got from the principal, I was home because I wasn't feeling well that day. So I was home when he called me, and he just told me that my son had a confrontation with somebody on a bus. So me and my son now was wondering what could have took place for him to, because I know he doesn't fight. If somebody is going to do him something, he prefers to walk away than, So when I heard, I just thought it was something, simple, like maybe hearing somebody had a fist-to-fist or something that wouldn't have led to his death. So he's on the way now I got back on next call, and I heard that he had died.
Oh, so
from that time till now, my world has been upside down, basically.
Yeah, I can just imagine. So, when you reach, what was that?
No, as I said, when I got the call, I was like near Matilda's corner.
Yeah.
It was a lot of traffic.
Right.
So the person that called me wasn't even in town, it was in Ochi. So I'm saying that maybe that person has the wrong news, I just want to reach up there. I just want to reach because as soon as I reach, I know I'll be seeing him there, maybe lying in bed, saying, Daddy, say,
This and that and that and that.
Yeah. Or Daddy, say the gentleman or the youth or the girl or something, and we had so I was expecting to be speaking to him when I reached.
Yeah.
So on reaching University Hospital, there was a lot of people there, like the principal, the dean, my sister, my mother, a lot of teachers because my sister teaches at JC.
Yes.
So she was quickly on the scene. basically, from I was walking, I was running him, basically.
Yeah.
Because I ran with his mother because it was me and her going up there at the time. So I was in front of her, and then everybody was coming towards me. So I was saying to them, where the excitement from, I'm going to see my son because I expect to see him alive. On reaching there now, they brought me into this room. I think they call it the blue room or something like that.
Yeah.
When I went in there, I saw my mother crying, and so I saw her crying. I know there was something wrong.
Yeah. What would have been a typical day like in terms of him traveling home?
Typical day, him getting up at 5 o'clock, because since third form, he's on normally carrying to school in the mornings and carrying back in the evening. Since third form, he came to me and said, Daddy, all these years you have been cloaking me up, so I need a little bit space. I have a little friend, so we'll meet up in town or
yeah, I know it go once I reach third farm. Yeah. I know it go once I reach third farm.
Yeah, he's a teenager now, so him want to go. So I say, yeah man, no problem. Got him a bus card, tell him to don't take certain buses, be aware of his surroundings. Seems like he was doing okay as far as I know. He'd have get up in the mornings and I drop him down the road. He'd have took the bus. Leaving, like I said, 5:45 in the mornings. From me leave there, I drop him down. Even some people remind me now that they always see me drive over the bridge, stop, let him off, turn back, and then he would walk out to the bus and wait patiently, not talking to anybody that's standing up there. Going to school. Basically, reach back home, like I said, 4:35 in the evening.
Yeah. So how do you travel? I mean, would it be a transportation routine traveling back home?
Well, normally, if he's not meeting anybody, the 95 Express that comes straight from Papi into Bull Bay. If he's going to meet his friends in town or so, because on that day in particular, I was told that he was meeting his cousin downtown to pay her fare up because she didn't have any bus fare, so they had talked in the afternoon. And he had told her that, he was being a bit late because the class was on suspension. So he was going to leave. He wasn't part of the suspension, but the principal, acting principal, wanted to talk to everybody based on what happened in the class.
Right.
So about 3 of them had left before the actual suspension or the people who were actually in suspension.
Yes.
So that's why he alone was at the bus stop at the time and he alone took the bus and all that because he wasn't a part of the students that were getting suspended.
Yes.
Or should have, as I said, we're getting suspended. I don't know if they were.
He wasn't into sports, or as yet. He wasn't into sports. He wasn't into sports, as yet.
No, sports, only swimming. He athletics, he wanted to run, but his body never. Yeah. He has asthma.
Okay.
So he wasn't a person that could do most of the physical things for a long time period.
Yeah.
So swimming was the only thing that he could do day in, day out without getting any bad reactions. I had to turn to the doctor a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then the doctor had banned him from doing certain regular sports based on his physique and his body going too fast for his age or something like that. He told me.
Yeah. Tell us about Nicholas himself, the student at JC.
Well, quiet. Everybody can tell you that he's basically a person who do what he's supposed to do. If he's in class, he's not making any noise. If he's supposed to do his work, he will do it. As long as it's class time, school time, most of his classmates, which I'm learning now, I didn't know before, would have said that as long as it's classwork time, Nicholas don't play around. You can play with him maybe lunchtime or so, but as long as it's class time, he doesn't walk with people when he's going to class. He moves from class to class. He moves speedily. He doesn't lay about or stuff, which I just found out recently since going to school and talking to the other students.
Yeah.
So he's a person that does what he knows he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. All right. So I gather that the mother's still not taking it too well.
No,
what
the
can
mother.
you say about?
The mother is a mother. Me and her always quarrel and fight.
Yes.
Over Nicholas. That's one thing I can't say nothing bad about her. She's a person that if he wants something today, I have to get it today. Because she has to say, he's supposed to have it, he's supposed to get it, he's supposed to, because his schoolwork is going to school. Anything that has to do with him uplifting himself, she's with it. So she's taking it a little bit harder. Because she was his friend, you know. He never normally talk to me. You know, I was on to her.
Yes. Yeah.
She and him are close. Most of his pictures is she and him, you know. Most of the times, if anything go wrong, she him come to. So, I am basically the back burner when it comes to those things.
Yeah. Well, you know, a typical thing goes. So, you're confident that justice, how confident are you that justice will be served?
No, not confident at all. Not confident at all. Based on what is going on now in the country, not confident at all.
Wow.
But speaking to the detectives, that has the case right now. I spoke to him up to yesterday. I'm not confident in the justice system, not in their work that they're doing. You know. I'm not confident in terms of how lawyers find loopholes to get their client out and those type of things. I think we need a better system put in place that people who do these type of things, I hope it don't happen again, because I'm telling you, in my shoes right now, I'm heartbroken, I'm torn up, I'm hungry, I'm frustrated, I'm everything in one.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that based on his death and the tragic death that it was, that we get a better legislature or whatever they call it. I mean, in the court lawyer thing out there, but we need something that puts away these people. And in a longer term times, or even the death penalty, then straight up hanging or something, so that they know that they don't trouble children, they don't trouble people, they don't just leave people alone.
So you're making it clear that you're not confident in the justice, that you might get justice will be served.
No, based on what recent happenings, as far as I know, people can walk from, because if there's no witness going, because fear, that's why he died, basically it's fear, fear on the bus, because nobody helped him. He alone defended himself, as far as I heard. One person that helped in the last part was a JC student that ran with the gentleman, had to come back, put pressure on the wound, ask the driver to carry him to the hospital. So there was only one person in his corner on that day. So it's fear. That's what I'm talking about. The witnesses, if they don't come forward because of fear of retaliation, fear of somebody calling an informer, So in that case, what I heard now is that if nobody goes to court and points him out, or if they have a ID parade or whatever however the justice system works, if nobody goes to the court and say, this is the gentleman that killed him, he can actually walk free.
Same time.
So that is what I am afraid of.
Yes. And he was your only child?
Yeah, my only child, her second.
Been forward now, how have you been?
I'm telling you, sometimes you're a big man, sometimes I stand up on ball. And I'm going to think,
but most,
I never expect this in my life.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I was listening to some music, See You Again on repeat, and I tell you, I was crying. I was the eye water was running out. Because the memories, the life that was cut short,
Yeah, budding bright JC boy.
Yeah.
So I gather that it was watch that him grandmother sent him
the watch caught his eye. Most people, they said they look like it. I didn't even know that. It's recently now I'm learning that it looked like the G-Shock watch themselves. I don't even know what the G-Shock watch is. But them say it look like that. So maybe that was caught his eye. Because it's a little full rubber band around it. But the seams of it, them say it look like the G-Shock watch.
Okay.
But it's a best Swiss. Maybe I can't say that on the radio because I think that is one of the key things in the going to be in the trial, I suppose.
Okay.
But it's a cheap watch. It's nothing.
Yeah, less than 10 US.
No, it's about 10 US for it.
Oh, about
around
10 US. Yeah, and it was his grandmother who sent it for him.
Yeah, man, his grandmother. No, man, she went up. She bought it on Amazon. Because she was going away in August. She asked everybody what they wanted. Because she have more grandchildren there.
Yes.
So she asked her grandchildren what you want. One said them want this. The next one said them want that. She bought it on Amazon. They sent it to the house that she was going in Miami. The person that is our relative collected it for her. When she went up, she received the items that were bought. And then she brought them down when she was coming.
Yeah.
So it's just items that are bought, But and children don't ship to Jamaica. That is Amazon.
Yeah.
And she was going over. She just carried them down when she was coming back.
So he got away with the watch or what?
No, the watch was recovered in the bus. I heard from the crime scene detective.
Yeah. So, you know, well, it's sad. It's sad. But, I mean, all the plans coming along now. You know.
Well, I just speaking to me now, you know. I just want, I'm on the way getting a visa now. I'm in a visa basically. I know, not in the visa. I'm on the road trying to get up some tables because I have to run up and down today to find what I didn't have because today's a 9 night and the amount of people that want to come to show their support. I have to be, you know, going around getting some people to help out in terms of buying some rum and all that because we weren't prepared for this.
No, you can't be prepared for something like this, man.
So, based on the amount of people that are coming now, we have to be getting in some other things.
Yeah.
Oh, so boy. Then cook some soup and, you know, make some sandwiches, try a little bit of it. You know, any little thing like somebody gives me, I put it together and try to do something for the people that are coming later.
Yeah, and when is the actual...
the actual burial is supposed to be on the 19th.
The 19th.
Holy Trinity Cathedral. We haven't set the time yet because of the amount of people that want to come and all that, so... It will be broadcasted, I suppose, based on
the overall, the national interest and so on.
Yeah, the national interest.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, Sir Francis, or Maria, really, I send my condolences to the man. As a parent of a JC student myself and a former student of JC, I'm really...
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, that's how it go. You know, I'm really, I'm really sad, I cry. You know.
I mean, I tell you,
I can't start imagine, you know, your side. You know, I don't even want to start imagine it. You know, but we give thanks that you find the time to talk with us. You know.
Yeah, man.
And all the best. And I think I will see you soon. You know.
All right, no problem, sir.
Yeah, man. So all the best, and just go and keep strong, and
well, it's people, you know, tell you the truth, it's people. People coming to you, giving you the good words, people texting you, people calling you, people seeing you on the road and just giving you a hug, you know? You have to, that's what I can say to everybody feel it. So what I don't want it to be a one-day thing. I don't want people to just help out, no, because it's fresh in their mind. I want tomorrow morning, the other day, people start to help one another. Because if somebody help my son, maybe he'll be still here now.
Here today. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So we need to go back to the old time days when people care for other people's children.
It took the village to raise a child.
Yeah, that's what my grandmother always said.
Yeah, that is the age-old thing. We lost.
Yeah, we need to go back to that.
We'll lose it, you know. We'll lose it as a society. Bad. Every day me hear people get up and talk about hate this and hate it. Them things that don't go on and hate it. May I tell you that? Them is in a 80. It's poverty bring them people together. Yeah, them wickedness we are going on Jamaica don't go on and hate it. So we make everybody know that. And every day people hate this and hate that. Jamaica is a wicked place. Far wickeder than Haiti right now.
Very, very.
Sorry for saying
that's I wonder why Father save us so often, because we don't thankful for what we have.
No. Certainly not.
One of the best islands, one of the best countries. Don't get me wrong, I love Jamaica so my heart. But the people, some of the people, I shouldn't even say all. Some of the people.
And all of this, is not something we're inborn in a way, it's what imported, It is negative cultures from other societies that we import in Jamaica why we are behave or we are behave now, Trust me, And not something we just come out so. And we just decide one day if we just get wicked as a people. It's the importation of negative attitudes and cultures from other societies. I don't call a name now. But that is why we are always now. But give thanks still.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, and take care. And I'll see you one of these days, yeah?
Yeah, man, no problem. Anytime.
All right. That was Xavier Francis, the father of Nicholas Francis. We're concerned about the future of our children right now, bearing in mind what is happening. You just heard from Xavier Francis, the father of Nicholas Francis. Here the man said, no confidence in the justice system. And it is also aided by the fact of recent events, which we won't go into. But recent events suggest that, we understand why he said what he said. But a sad situation. And as we say, since Nicholas' death, around 12 incidents have happened since then. One of the students, them nearly dead. It was surgery who saved him at Spanish Town Hospital, a KC youth. So we have attacks from kids from Arden, JC, KC, Camperdown, and there are also attacks on UTech and US students, which is not being publicized as much as what is happening. So something needs to happen. And the proposal put forward by Mr. Holmes of the JCPTA seems fairly workable. Especially, some of them are gathered that the ministry has been looking into it. And we expect that something will in fact happen, in terms of these proposals. Because it can't continue. Every day we come and we talk the same thing, and every day when you think it can't get worse, it just get worse. It's a thing. It's a thing. So we are preparing now for an election in Jamaica again. A couple months ago, so it's the same thing again. Them coming around in them typical colors. So we expect that an election might call before the end of the year in Jamaica for the local government. This month? Yeah, we hear say before Christmas. Yeah. This month, you call already? It announced officially? It announced initially? When? It announced today? So when is the election? The 28th of November. So it's the same thing going to happen again. Some people coming around begging you to vote. Vote for them. And, boy, I don't know. Them say you need to exercise your democratic right. But has democracy helped us black people? When democracy was created in the 18th century, black people was not part of the picture, And you know why they wasn't a part of the picture? Because even to this day, in anywhere or any societies where democracy is, these are the things that happen. Black people are the most scattered, the most divided, the most disorganized, and at the bottom of the barrel. Check it. Anywhere where black people there were democracy there. That is always the case. So you need to exercise the democratic right by going out and vote on November when? 28th. So I wish you guys luck. I mean, I know a lot of people we'll say, well, sure, regular thing, I mean, we'll talk about and the election day was still. Sometimes someone say, oh, I vote today. See, when the election day come, I look at them finger, I see the little ink on the finger. He still got vote, and then it still cuss. It's still a cuss, yeah. But that is your democratic right, them say. But me, I am not so confident in democracy and all these modern systems. I mean, and for us as a race and as a people, I'm not confident in that. Trust me. All right, standing by to have another interview because you don't know, I mean, we have to be clicking on the stepping razor today. Stepping rays are not really a normal program like any other afternoon program. So, we will continue to update you and provide information, edutainment. All the word edutainment, if I tell you the story behind that word there, you'd never believe, But that's another story for another day. And we see a published article in the paper, Executive Director of the Anti-Corruption Lobby Group, National Integrity Action, is demanding sanctions where appropriate at the Firearm Licensing Authority over the missing file of businessman Patrick Powell. This is what was published. This is not me assessor or IRFM assessor. This is what has been published. The FLA has been under scrutiny since it revealed on Tuesday that Powell's firearm file is nowhere to be found at the agency. He was last week freed of the shooting death of schoolboy Kajil Mace, but remains before the court on a charge of failing to produce the firearm for inspection. Professor Monroe says case of the missing Powell file highlights issues of negligence and dereliction of duty. And these are the reasons why last week's program, it's shot, with Muta, and in terms of getting out certain information and so on, and and these are the reasons why we say there's really more questions than answers have been always coming forward. So that's it. The NIA, them demand sanction. I know that recently the head of the Firearm Licensing Authority resigned. And I don't know how much to juxtapose that resignation with all these happenings in recent times. But it don't look good. It don't look good at all. Yeah. All right. So we hear now that there's a new disease. Well, it new. It's not really new, but the Ministry of Health confirmed 6 cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease. What kind of disease that? Your hand. Yeah. Well, I like a scientific, explanation as what is the hand foot. I know people already know it still, but it just sounds weird. Like what them say, mad cow disease. All man can catch mad cow disease. So we say hand, foot, and mouth disease, and 6 confirmed cases. And at the time, the chief medical officer, Dr. Winston Delahaye, says there are 20 suspected cases. All cases are in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. Those are the most popular. So I guess it have to be where the population is dense too. So it's a viral infection, mostly seen among babies and small children. All right? So, care there, so right away. The symptoms are very small: water bumps on the mouth, the palm of the hand, and sole of the feet. In some cases, fever. Okay. And Dr. Delahaye wants parents to be alert for the symptoms in their children, and keep them away from school for at least a week to prevent the spread of hand, foot, and mouth disease. Boy, there's so much ways where we need to protect our children. Yeah, man. Hello. Greetings. Hello.
Greetings.
Yeah, man. Walk on.
Yeah.
Walk
Man, they are listening to the vibes and everything,
See?
All kind of things is happening.
Yeah, I tell you.
You understand? But no matter what is happening, there's a solution still, not true?
Yeah, we can't lie down and dead when we're alive, When we're alive and strong and kicking, we can't just lie down and dead, especially when it's things where we can deal with.
Yeah, because some of the things that we can really ask God to do them for the way we can do them ourselves.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
The Nadine Sutherland, we played earlier. How old she was on record that song there?
Nadine was around 9, 10 them time then, just like a little girl,
Xylophone.
Yeah, around them age there, yeah.
Yeah, come here,
Every time you hear xylophone, she remind me of Nadine Sutherland.
Well, I want to tell her this now.
Yeah.
I have 2 more little female I want to introduce her to.
All right.
Some night I have 2 nice little songs there where I feel like I could have gone to,
Yeah.
And them record them when they were 9 and 10 years old. One was 9, one was 10.
Okay. Yeah,
them are the States now. One of them Americans still, but you know what I mean? But I have the song them still.
Yeah, man. Send it, man. Send it on.
And you see the 9-year-old one?
Yeah.
From America there.
Yeah.
From age 6 to age 9, she already appeared on over 100 shows in Jamaica.
Wow, so she have whole heap of hours.
Yeah, man. She put in a whole heap of work, that thing,
Yeah.
So, what? Yeah. My name is David St. Arbin.
See?
Yeah, recording dub chanter too,
Yeah. Which side you from?
Huh?
Which side you come from?
Well, over Red Pan in a Spanish town,
Oh, no, Spain. Yeah.
You know over Red Pan?
I know Spain, man.
Yeah,
I might not know every specific name everywhere, but we can't laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, so Red Pan is a biblical chanter.
See.
Record and thing and that little thing. But it was to say and enough one of things. So I try made a link so so Mr. David St. Arbin, kind of know who
that
and to man, man. You understand?
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself, man.
So we will come to one time, come get them link there. Yeah.
All right, brother. Cool. Yeah, man. This is the Stepping Razor on IRA FM. Roger Concrete Asphalt here holding the fort for Muta. We're there until around 6 o'clock, 5:45, them time there. Yeah, so we'll keep it company. We still take your calls, Still first come, first serve, same basis, same thing. So We're there same way. Greetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling Finance St. Thomas.
All right, Senti. Where you say?
Yeah, there's a problem we have at St. Thomas for a long time now. The only Golden Grove sugar.
Golden Grove.
Yeah, Golden Grove
near
sugar.
Pomerant side,
Factory.
Near Pomerant side, so?
Yeah, at the factory, sugar factory.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're separate response for it.
Yeah, what problem you have?
Them scale a bill from about, them scale and have a use a really cane.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be from in about 65.
50 odd years now.
Yeah. And the scale are farmers over the years now.
The scale of what?
Rob farmers.
Rob. Oh,
the cane what to carry to the factory.
It's not accurate.
Yes, it's a robbery.
Yeah, so the scale don't accurate.
Yes.
Okay.
So, since this year crop, me draw a load of cane. And when me go up a hill, the gear what me draw was second. You can't go over with the amount of waste. When we go to the factory, do a 13 ton ad. So me I say something wrong.
You did estimate it, hold on there, you estimated to weigh more than that?
Yes, me I say roughly about, it's supposed to weigh roughly about 16 ton or 17 ton.
And you say when you get it officially weigh, it weigh 13? 13
ton something,
so
yeah.
how you know specifically say that instead of what the scale I tell you? How you know that specifically?
Well, based up my experience. I mean, I will tell you again. Me call two guys and I tell them. I must say, and then I look on it. They say something wrong with you, man. Me sorry, I say nothing. They make a next trip.
All right.
You see when I come, the job about third, and it's fly over the year. Easy.
Yeah.
You see when I go to the factory, 16 tons something you do here. Yeah. So the call the guy and I say, you see, the scale rob people, you know.
Yeah.
Until me talk and him I say, no, sir. Couple weeks after that, the scale, them call on the scale and now. Then I wait for the other big scale. That's what they use, weight and sugar.
Yeah.
And they have a new scale they use, weight and sugar, you know.
So you say thousands of dollars you get robbed?
Yes.
Oh. So
who
yeah, so who are your representative? You have anybody who represent you?
Well, Dr. Fenton said this is not any responsibility.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like no politician. I'm talking about like union or, any workers representative where point out them things here and address them things, I feel.
I suppose all on records, you know.
Who?
Mr. Record supposed to respond.
Mr. Record from where?
Mr. Record is supposed to come from Mr. Westmoreland. Oh. Sugar. But he may have a young guy named Nelson, which is the chairman. But through him young and just coming out, really have the power, the strength, as you know. Yeah.
So them admit. So after a time, them admit that the skills them want change. That's the way I say.
Yeah, that they were saying at the last.
So what you want to know? What you want to recover the money that you lose, or you are moving forward? What happen? What you would like for happen?
Well, me think them should have given back some money because we lose last year hard and the year before. The year before, the scale I get trouble to and not give the cane cut of them money and then the farmers none. You understand? Yeah. Then the cane cut of them go on balance strike. And then give the cut of them money. And them not give the farmers them no money. Why? One farmers call out first, which is a big farmers. And you call out upon them and say no, and call on upon them, but me don't know what go on. After them I say nothing wrong.
Well, I can tell you that in absence of anything documented, proof, say that get robbed, it look tough. But what me can tell you that is that since there's a new dispensation now, you have always have an hand on the pulse, no son and I get robbed. Make sure it's not up on the gas and make sure say, everything accurate from now on, because as I say, in the absence of any documented proofs that get robbed, it's hard for them get up and find money for you. I mean, I don't know if anybody else have any more advice where that is concerned. But as far as I'm saying, you know, I'm not documented to say you lose this or you lose that. That might just be a loss like the whole away. Enough of we lose, you know. Enough of we lose by our work, you know. And we have to just call it a day and move on and then just deal with what is in front of us from now on. You understand? And make sure we hand up on the pulse. Make sure everything, you know, get to a representative if you know, and them wear it. So make sure everything all right from now. Make sure it's hand up on the pulse.
Yes, so I may say if we get trouble already, we want them to really put into a new scale with this crap coming.
Yeah.
You understand?
So who can represent you for that now?
Well, I think I don't Mr. Records, you know, but I'll be a 7-8. Because I'm a really big man.
Who in touch with Mr. Record?
Right. Well, Nelson.
All right. So something in place. So you just highlight what took place and so then.
Yeah, that is Walter. Nelson Walter.
All right then.
So man, touch up. But you see St. Thomas now in our world, we don't know what happened.
No,
them say that you have some dog or bark, but they don't bite.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So St. Thomas needs to step up the thing, man. You know, make it better.
St. Thomas is like Haiti, you know, the parish that led the liberation struggle, but them is paying dearly for it, you know, dearly. And that is one thing about St. Thomas.
True, you're talking. St. Thomas come like Haiti for true.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a parish that led the way for us as a people.
Yes.
You know, the whole liberation struggle in our modern times.
Yeah, true. All right, now they are back. And the first part of the country.
Yeah. But give thanks still. Check Mr. Record. Make sure you check Mr. Record and make sure everything all right from now. Here?
Yeah. But that's why you call upon him too.
Yeah. Well, all right.
He has to find here to and tell himself to check on it too.
Mr. Record from down from the people them down where? Golden Grove. Want talk with you.
Yeah, Golden Grove sugar. To all the skill when I work with that.
So anybody know Mr. Record down from, get in touch with the people them down at St. Thomas for them deal with them grows. All right, bless you.
Yeah, no love, man.
All right, give thanks. What a thing. Yeah. One say him that get one say no. Say him that get robbed all along. And him even point out, you know, the reason. But it hard him get money as he would have life to get some money off of them estimates there, but boy, I don't know that gonna work still. But yeah, we're standing by for music news, and we also have a special interview coming up. All right, we'll take the calls them after music news, okay? Greetings.
Greetings, brother.
Yeah, man. What a going?
Yeah. Why you talk to this? Cause I don't really understand what I want. Mr. and Mrs. Powell. Can two person have two gun license for one gun?
Yeah, well, according to the news, the same gun, the same license, yeah, exactly what you said a while ago.
And they must say them don't know one another?
Yeah, that's what they must say.
So I go on, man.
I don't know, but as we say, as this thing get more intrigued, there is more questions and answers.
Yeah, and Mr. Wilson, him come from the radio and I tell you all the things over there, more overstand and there's no way my David. All of them take us to fool, you know.
Who you say that?
Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
The man at the head of the thing for the police.
Yeah. It's a ongoing thing, and we always have to just keep on watching with bated breath. And the most we can do right now is just go and form our opinions. We just can't. It's just that, you know, there are certain things we've gone through the gate already and gone through. You know, I'm certain.
Yeah, we have to meet through better, man, as a man we set up for the people, don't distress the people them. But come tell we no lie to defend no one when you know say I want wrong, them wrong, you know. No wrong can eat right. No matter who in a which position or any position, within the finance session, within the finance session, And when them try to sweep it under the carpet, it will come out, you know. Enough people we are defending the thing. We're supposed to let out and make the people them understand what I want.
Yeah.
They might do it too. All them people are supposed to get removed from out of any position they have, you know.
Well, no, at the time, we see where the National Integrity Action Committee, now, I mean, we always hear say them have more bark than bite. Them demand sanctions now. So, see if I true, say them have more bark than bite. Make we see if I true now, no?
Yeah, but them things look silly and foolish, man. Two people have that and them know them more, and they throw them a poet. What is this, man? What kind of idiot thing I'm take the nation for? And also, who are we fool?
Yeah, I mean.
I mean, if you step up the game better than that, man.
Yeah, well.
Certain
gone through already, so most you can do out there now is just, you are the judge out there right now. I mean, not by law, but you just have to just go and form your opinion and go and hold it until further notice.
Yeah, them need to stop the stupidness, man, and the lion story thing. Them thing don't work. I want the nation, them thing when I run to the nation and people have help to stop crime.
All right, sir.
And I'm still submit to the crime. Yeah. But when the thing, people them must say, yeah, we need to help us to stop the crime. And them still keep it up and support it.
Yeah. All right, we'll give our next man a chance, yeah?
All right, brother.
Bless. Greetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I call you to ask you certain things because the justice system I look like it get rotten every day.
Why is that so?
Them say pre-the larceny is like people stealing people, animal, them cultivation and all that.
Yeah, livestock.
If an institution collect money to pay over to anybody, even another institution, and fail to pay it over within the time you should be paid, then is it a pre-the larceny?
If an institution what?
If an institution collect money to pay over to anybody, call it even a civilian, and for the civilian right, you're supposed to get it certain time, and you have been to them numerous times, and then don't want to give you. Don't treat your last in that as well.
That's a downright robbery, man. Are you a baby that on your background?
Hello? Yes, a little baby. I don't have anybody else to hold him. His mother gone on the road here.
Oh, in louder than you, bro. Yeah. A robbery that, man.
Well, that is happening to me, and me have documents on this case.
Yeah.
And these people, you know, I have been to all these institutions, government institutions, and I have found pure corruption. You know?
All right, hold on. So yes or no, you do some work for a particular organization. That's what you say, right?
Listen, I do some work for a man.
For a man?
And when, yes, right. And when the work was done, the man...
Your best thinking isn't always done inside your office. So when it comes to creating engaging e-learning projects, you need a solution that can follow in your footsteps. That's easy to use and easy to share for better collaboration and greater productivity. With Adobe Captivate, you can create powerful e-learning content with storyboards that bring your ideas to life and keep you from getting lost along the way.
Bring in PowerPoint and add interactivity.
Or work with multi-state objects to create rich interactions without programming. Build e-learning for people on the go using tablets and phones. Reach your learners with customized e-learning based on where they are using geolocation. See how it will look on any device, or even add animations that adapt to any screen. Jazz it up by selecting from an exclusive library of 25,000 plus art, animations, games, and themes. Create e-learning that runs on laptops, tablets, and mobile that you can publish to leading learning management systems like Adobe Captivate Prime. Engage your audience anytime, anywhere, on virtually any device. Because their best thinking isn't always done in their offices either.
Yes, yes. Right. And when the work was done, the man denied paying me what he should pay me, what we arranged for, and paper.
So he pay you something, but him don't pay. Hold on. Him pay you something, but him don't pay you when I agree to. That's what I say.
And we agree on paper.
Answer me, man.
So I sue him.
Hold on. Just more I made up on the same page.
Yeah.
Him pay you something, but him don't pay you where the 200 did agree to.
Yeah. Him pay me like half of the money, like.
All right. So for instance, then you don't agree to $1,000. This is an argument sake. You don't agree to one, but him pay 500. Right. All right. Yeah. Go on, talk.
He agreed to $1,000 and he paid 450 or 470.
Yeah. And what him say? Say him
owe you? And him agreed that he owe me, but he denied saying he don't owe me that much. So till we have it on paper, I sue him for it.
Yeah, and what when you sue him?
Hello?
And what when you sue him?
We sue him and it take a long time to try because it couldn't try in my country. So me have to bring it to Kingston.
Yeah.
And me to get a transport to my parish.
Yeah.
When it could try there, and it goes on to another 2 years, and then it duly tried.
And what when it duly tried?
I was rewarded money.
And what when you rewarded money?
The judge said he should pay me, and when I went to the court's office, the clerk of court telling me that the man appeal and the money that he pay. So me have to go wait till the appeal done. And I waited a year and 4 months and go back to him. He said, look like the man did appeal for runway because the man never attend the appeal. So it's finally for the plaintiff. So from that time, these people should pay me.
So him doing runway?
I don't know why he do, but he paid them before, he paid them before because it was American a big yacht for a sprayed a yacht. So it was a big job.
Yeah,
so mother come here and died and then cremate the body, so him have to go and bury it. So the judge said he couldn't go without him pay the money that was on the document. So he did so and come back and lose it to me.
So you say no, you feel corruption go on? And
yes, because the money was paid right in front of me. Because I served the document with a bailiff, so I know how much was on it at that time. And the case duly tried, and I was rewarded more on it.
So when you sue the man, you got representation?
You mean by a lawyer?
Yes.
Yes.
So you go back to the lawyer then?
The lawyer, when the case was done, the lawyer sent me to the court's office.
Yeah.
So they will pay me. Because they did have the money because the man was going away and then set the case aside. The money was being lodged between the two of us to see which one of us win the case.
Yeah.
So I won the case.
Yeah. So the man appealed it, it looked like you said?
Yes, but the appeal strike out. They dismissed the appeal because...
So if they dismiss the appeal, that means them still for pay you?
Yes. That means the court...
So now your lawyer have to talk about that, man.
Yeah, but listen what I'm saying. Right there in front of the clerk of court and my lawyer, the clerk of court office give me X amount out of the bona fide that me sue for.
Pay you, no, hold on, stop. Hold on. The clerk, you said them pay you some money in front of the lawyer?
They front me paper that the man appeal. And they also gave me X amount out of what me sue for, owing me the cost and the interest and a little from what I sue for, saying when the appeal is done, they will give me a judgment summons to where the money is because the money had lodged between the two of us.
So you get some money, but you don't get all of the money after the appeal?
after the appeal dismissed, me did forget the rest of it. The most of it, they hold the most of it because it's the most of it that the man appeal on.
Yeah. So the most of it now, where is that most of it? Who?
The most of it, the same courthouse have. Listen to this. I have been to Supreme Court, and when I went there, they gave me documents to them because that's where the case come from, because it was a backlog case, and they give me a discontinued document, and I went there and they take the matter, and they did the matter, and I was in contact with Supreme Court people who, a lady even called me and said they sent package down there for them to pay me, and through the appeal I couldn't get it. So after the appeal now, I got to the public defender. Mr. Howard was there that time. Mr. Howard had done investigation from the two courthouse. Mr. Witter come. I have been to them with what Mr. Howard give me. They refuse. They just go on like I am nobody. This lady, Mr. Witter come, said he can't change what Mr. Howard do, and that was fine with me. This lady come, said she cannot change what Mr. Howard do, and that is fine with me. They have big files on mine of returns and other figures that they have on the same case running right now. And I went to the DPP because it seems as if the public defender office cannot give me the police. So the DPP sent me back to the public defender office for them to deal with it. So they said I should go to the police. I have been to this police station right where I am at this headquarters. The acting soap said, "We have business with it, go along to them. And when we go to them, they make war and they tell me different things, and they have different papers. So we go to the Montego Bay fraud place where they might tell me, say, we go sue the man. So me say, is a suing case, I'm not even collect how me go sue the man again. Because the clerk of court in front of me agree to give me a judgment summons. And that is what is on the paper there, for me to get a judgment summons. But these people don't want, bidding me, don't want to give me the relevant amount, and the court stages on the paper that what me should get, the calculation, because we have judgment and
it's so like you want proper representation, man. You want.
But who is it? It's the police.
Hold on. You look like you need we have to run shortly. But you look like you need a new lawyer.
What I ask you. To go and get another lawyer again, it's another big thing. I tried that already, and it's a work lawyer, tried to take the papers and all that. What I ask you, if somebody get money to pay over to you, give you some, and say they owe you the rest and refuse to pay you, you sue and judge say you to get paid, and who have the money to pay you refusing to pay you, and you have been to the police. What else can you do? I think that is a case of the same crime.
Yeah, that look like corruption still. Look like corruption going somewhere.
Corruption. So I would want to know who to talk to, because it don't seem as if there's anybody who looking on my side. They are all looking on the money, because, it's a good sum. I won't disclose, but,
Yeah, it look like it's a good sum for true. I'm here talk.
Yes, and I am positive about it, because it was me who do it.
You need proper representation. But to have to run, we have to talk back some more upon this here, but to have to run, you need proper representation.
My number is right. If you want to call me after the year, if you can get me somebody
all right,
to straighten out this.
Leave a number the operator, all right? May I have to run. May I do some things right as I know.
All right.
Yeah. Well, oh, that sound. All right, listen up. Time. This. Listen up. Top draw, dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, cash pot, drive time, draws. Up next. Stepping Razor, IRA FM. We have Minister of Transport online, Mike Henry. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm good, How are you doing?
What can I tell you? Fighting all the vicissitudes of life, trying to make it better, trying to make it improve, trying to make us feel we're living in a better world than sometimes we face daily.
I know you're a Rastafari, man. So
Rastafari.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm Lion. Before we...
Lion is lying second and expecting to win. Okay? We are expecting to win. We have 2 more games for the first session. We are 3 points, I think, behind the UE.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a controversial loss, but the basic point is you don't make those statements. You just go ahead and So there are 2 more matches, and we are number 2 in the table.
All right. So and you got 2 semifinals. So you expect to win, as you said. All right.
And never have we been at this position in the competition before.
All right. All right, Minister, no, serious matters now. Of course, you have,
Lion is serious matters too, but go ahead. Sport is very serious too. It's not recreation.
All right. I'll call it on the sports program.
You must remember that it was the slave owners who made sports recreational so that the slaves could run around and use up the energy and not earn from it.
Yeah.
Remember, cricket was a gentleman and a player's game.
True.
And you couldn't come through the same gate that your boss come through.
True.
All right, okay. All right.
Yeah, man.
And it wasn't easy to captain the team if you weren't brown and on.
Okay? Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, like the whole nation, we caught captivated by the recent attacks on our children. Mm-hmm. And there has been some calls, there have been proposals in regards to the setting up establishment of school buses for children, especially after school hours and so on. In terms of how much are you looking at that, and in terms of a policy framework point of view as well?
We may have a little bit more beam on it because it's intensified, but it's a matter that we have looked at in terms of planning to ensure that we can make sure we protect and people ensure they're traveling very safely. So that basically all new buses coming in are exclusively equipped with cutting-edge live wireless connections. Older buses have to be phased in because they have an older system that is addressed in a different way. So that will begin to deal with the issue that you could even follow the security of the bus on your phone. But all of that speaks to the need for money and need to replace the buses in a quicker cycle of replacement. And that's where the issues begin and, in a sense, end. Right? So it would be, if I'm asked for a report now, which I'm seeking to get to see how would that be in a phased-out basis, how long that would be before it would apply to all buses. But then you appreciate that we have a demand for the buses that we are not meeting in terms of the volume of buses that are required for the service. And if the request for surveillance is required, which we have asked for more from the security forces, they're followed. And remember, for instance, policemen are allowed to ride free of cost on the buses, eh?
Yeah.
So we're doing the best that we can with the system we have inherited. And when I'm inherited, I mean from the age immemorial of how we service public transport.
Right. So, I gather that there was, if it even was not a large scale, there was one time when there was a designated kind of a school transport system through the JUTC that has been that was scrapped. I mean.
It is my understanding that something like that was looked at. I'm right now demanding a report for it to be looked at, which is what you're calling about is a dedicated school, not a dedicated, but a school bus service, which would run on time to get the children in bulk to and from. But that, of course, is going to demand also more buses and planning. Because remember, we don't zone our schools, okay? Mm-hmm. Our schools are built and then incorporated into the system. Therefore, in some areas, you can run a straight route and you probably capture 60% of the schools, right? Or, correspondingly, you can't deviate off the route to add more time, so the child is still exposed, maybe walking a longer distance. And, of course, that is what I'm talking to you about is aimed at the KMTR region and not including the rural areas where I'm trying to work for a rural-urban transport plan also.
Yeah. But you know, Minister, the intensity of the call has gotten louder, especially in light of the recent attack on our children. And you know, among the proposals put forward by the JCPTA is for the government to look at that, and they made reference to.
We're seriously looking at it.
Yeah, they made reference to the fact that, you know, you do transport your workers. You have designated buses for your workers, government workers.
Yeah, but if you're talking of dedicated only for school children, that's going to be very difficult.
No, after school hours only.
Right. Yeah. So what we're saying is we are looking at the possibility of intensifying the number of buses on our route to give a school service. But if you're already short 100 buses, right, in terms of the general transportation that you have to begin to quantify that into the ability of the amount of buses that you can, as a country, afford. And that is what I'm looking at in terms of the whole issue, remembering also that we are established a bus service that we are not running at the economic cost of replacement.
Yeah.
Because what should be $180 fare is $60, $40. I'm checking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Average $60. Right. So you have 120 you have to be filling in, and then you're dealing with now how you deal with the capital cost, the administration, etc. So all of these are the issues that I have to wrestle with in terms of arriving at what we can implement. So yes, we are looking at increasing the buses traveling along a major route that will service schools. And then now you have to begin to recognize the social deterioration sometimes creates problems. When you mix some students together from one school, then you get a different issue, and issues overspill because the social decline and the structures of the areas and family life has its own dimension of problems to the issues.
Yes, so true.
So basically, rest assured, as we speak to the public, it is a number one priority on my desk. I'm setting up to go into retreat to try and see how we can. I point out that I'm looking at I'm restoring the railway service. We have to look ultimately down the road with a vision of dealing with the monorails and distributing at certain levels. And I urge us to look at the zoning of schools.
Yeah. And when you talk about rails, you mean the one that you had implemented in the past from Bogwalk to or what? I mean,
yeah, the lines that can be restored are moving to restore those, right? And correspondingly, for the city of Kingston, we have to begin to look at the monorail.
The monorail?
That's running the cars above, the Japanese monorail.
Oh.
You use your points and you distribute people from that because we won't have a subway ever, right? Okay?
Yeah. So the Transport Ministry is aware and is, would you say, proactive in terms of trying to implement something that will kind of appease the situation as is now?
Well, very proactive. If the financial or fiscal space which restricts us, right, is made available. You see, I'm grappling with an issue that I think it was some 20-odd years ago. If not maybe 25 years ago, the MMTH did a study. And the MMH said we needed 770 buses to maintain a discipline structured across the country. Through successive governments, at best we have been able to get to 400. And that's only from the KMTR region. So if you needed 700 in there to give a possible disciplined, civilized transport, and you're now only at 481, but turning out only 380, you understand the issues that you have to. And one of the issues right here with the young man was that it was an illegal operator on that route.
Wow.
Okay? Because please remember, what is why I fight for a national identity program, right? In terms of where we are, or we identify ourselves, and that relates to the economic structure, you have a problem because more people live on streets with no names, in houses with no numbers, and are known by an alias. So So you're roboting in terms of it. The robot is owned by somebody else who hires a driver today. That driver is gone tomorrow. I'm working through all the systems. I have a pilot scheme that I'm doing now, how to integrate that. So all the newer buses now, I don't want everyone running to the newer buses because that's the issue. We can track on a cell phone because the cameras that they are fitted with is a wireless one that we can tie into the phone, and we are tracking some 40 to 50 buses in this way. The older system now, right? You have to take out the cameras, go back to be able to retrieve them, to find out what it is. You'll have evidence after, but you're not able to be as proactive as we would want to be. And if you have to know 200 or 300 buses that fall into what is called the antiquated position, right? Then you need money in which to put those in place. And if you're putting the money in the buses in place at a subsidized figure that will not be able to replace them, you're in a declining position. That's how and where I have to begin to agonize how we move forward.
All right. What are some of the strategies that will be implemented to ensure that students utilize the services being offered by the Transport Ministry?
Requesting better surveillance from the police, better monitoring of our people on the road or inspectors, etc. All right, tying in the Transport Authority and the island traffic to also assist in relation to that. Right, maybe encouraging more policemen to ride on the buses free, that they offer that sense of security. We're looking to find a way in which we can ask government or ask finance or whatever to give us some extra buses. Try to link with the Ministry of Education in analyzing these issues, and see how we can find some resources to buy some more buses, right? That we can put them on a straighter route, so to speak, right? And then integrate that with a feeder bus service system that is available. That's the immediacy short-term situation that we are approaching. Okay. The longer-term one is how do you integrate travel between light rail, monorail, road, because as long as you build roads without building bus lanes, that we can keep the timetable. Because remember, 1,200, I don't know, 2,000, how many children had said KCR, JC? 3,000, 2,000?
Whatever is the thing. School population?
Yeah,
around
out of school.
1,800, over 1,800.
Right, 1,800. Now remember, they all have to get to school by the same time.
Yes.
So you have to put the buses back to back, or you have to build the longer buses, which by itself with the road condition, you have to find out which is better, right? Mm-hmm. Because they all have to get there at the same time.
Right.
So if you have 4 schools like on the run from JC, you're coming past, you're going to JC, you're coming past Liberty College, you're coming past Arden, right? You're coming past another one. Add that up, and then if you have 200 people in a bus or 100 divided, you know how many buses you begin to need. And with the narrow roads, you got to begin to double it. If it's a 50-seater bus, you're going to need 2 for 100, right? So they have to be lined up back to back to get them, and then you have to get them up at when the school is out now to start and reverse the process. That's what we're looking at, and how many buses that would need, and how we can make that as a request to government.
Yeah, well, as a society right now, I mean, we are seeing the need for that. We know it costs, and we know there's a cost for that. How feasible?
Well, how feasible it is where you are, because right now, you know, I had asked for more buses, but the fiscal space was not there, right? And there's an whole element of people who I don't see it the way I am. You can't be productive if you're arriving to work sweaty or you go to school and you're not learning. So I believe it should be a priority in the budget, not one that is a secondary thought, eh?
Okay, so next year we can look forward to.
Well, I'm fighting hard for it because we need now buses in the system, and it mustn't be looked at as buying every time. We now must be looking at how we keep the fleet running that we have, save what has been not properly treated, and begin to arrange a better service in respect of the number of buses we can turn on.
Yeah, and we know you're an advocate for the rural transportation network and system, but we are here discussing children. So what about, I mean, from a children
the rural-urban transport plan is also being followed and will be is also being analyzed as we go along. Remember, we have a Montego Bay Metro service trade serving 3 or 4 that has to be impacted on too by the service we have to offer, and we're trying to put in the rural-urban in the middle of the country. and see how we can. So all of this is going to demand more, and then need growth in the economy to make it all work.
Okay, so I said the growth.
Well, the growth has begun.
Okay.
What I want to see is, you mustn't take me to my hobby horse of claiming what is owed by us by reparations. We shouldn't be left to struggle because they didn't give us land, and the British government still, owes us a lot in relation to the abuse of our people. So
we know you're an advocate for that, I mean.
Right. So basically, it's the greatest crime of man's inhumanity against man was chattel slavery. Practiced only in 7 countries. So for me, I still want to see us pursue that strongly.
All right. I'm looking forward to seeing you push it strongly as you have done in the past.
I am pushing it strongly right now as a member of cabinet. I'm talking to you, and I'm still prepared and pursuing the issues.
All right, sir. What's up? As usual, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for the interest, and I'm assuring the public it's the front burner of my desk, right?
Yes.
And as I'm speaking to you, actually, I have the CAO of JUTC, but the KMTR is not the only region, right? Because right now in Maypen, I can report that we have had a number of students going to school whose cell phones are being stolen, right?
Yes, true.
So it's the whole social impact that is related to the country.
Yeah, man. From last week, Minister, over 12 students have been, criminals have converged on them. So
now that speaks to the economic value of a cell phone, eh?
Yeah.
That speaks to the whole issue that we must address socially.
Yes, sir. All right. So when you book on it, we're going to beat you again. Here, sir.
Who is that? What team is that? No, I don't mean to do that to my competitors, okay? Enough respect.
All right.
I know we are above Arnett and where we are, right? Okay? And I know we just beat them in a match, all right? Okay?
All right, Minister.
And I know we're going to beat them again. So why you want to make me quarrel with my colleague minister who is listening?
All right. I don't know about the beating again. I don't know about that part there, but if you anything what you say.
All right. Okay.
All right, Minister.
All right.
All right, Minister Mike Henry, Minister of Transport. So he's assuring the public that the issue of public transportation for school children, especially in after school hours, is a front burner, front priority. So let's see how they're going to keep the word. This is the Stepping Razor, IRA FM. All right, Stepping Razor, IRA FM. So we're getting to that season again. So look out. All right. So we're not trying to get the Minister of Education to discuss some of the proposals, but our time ago and time moving very fast now. We're in the actual home stretch of the program. So it's still first come, first serve. Give us a call, have your say, and make we talk a little. All right? Greetings.
Setting.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Asphalt.
How you doing?
All right, man.
Good day, you know
what I want thing you want right now, man.
What?
Why? Most of them are left to keep with you. The taxi man, involved with you, they will get the taxi.
Him if he left it for you?
No, man. I think not let it be to play. I keep it to play, you know, man. You can't get to understand and really feel you know.
Oh.
I evidence that everything, you know, man.
Oh, you don't like to hear about the interview him the last week?
As man, no mind every minute man. That
every minute. Careful, you know, you can't say the radio on the radio, you know.
Oh, God.
We can't talk it amongst one another. Yeah, go on, talk.
Sorry, Father, I don't hear that tape, man.
So you want to hear it back? All right. Special request for hear about the tape with Muta and the taxi driver.
You can listen and understand, yes, sir, and see how I call it in this. All right.
Yeah. All right. All right. Bless. Greetings.
Greetings, Aya. What, Maya?
There, you know, Aya.
Highly, Aya. Just be a talk to
St. Thomas.
Thomas Winchester.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Why, me I tell you, say the road bad, me boss.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
bad. Bad in the Winchester, yeah, man. We want some road, man. You know, see it.
Who are your MP?
Yeah, man.
Who are your councillor? Who are your councillor?
Well, I will find out now who are the councillor, you know, because I gradually come in my place.
Yeah, don't worry yourself, man. Them soon come, man. It's election time. So
yeah, man, you know, see
election time. So by tomorrow, you see them, man. Trust me.
Yeah, man, who want them come tomorrow, man, come set up the road, man.
Election time,
man.
Election time, so don't worry yourself. Just want to see them,
man. See, I still have to give up Winchester and White Horses, Danvers, you know, Bongo, Sean, and man, come do on the Penn Springfield, because them man, they are real, man, you know, see it.
Right.
Yeah, man, coming from Jatabi, you know, fire.
Yes, Jatabi.
Yeah, man, and watch out now. Me a take in from Evelyn to, you know. You're firm, you know. You know you can't wear the program here.
Yeah, I try my best still, you know.
Yeah, man, you're tough, man. Me a listen to the thing, you know, see it. Yeah, man, and the next thing again, you see here. Me I like the man and put on the crime and the war them in our country. Because right now, we're tired of that, my boss.
Yeah, we're tired.
Yeah, man, me have to preach on that thing there, you know.
We're tired one more time. We're tired.
Seeing. Yeah, man. So watch you know. Me a big up yourself, seeing?
Yeah, man.
And big up White Horses. Me not left out them places still. You
know White Horses get the name?
Yeah,
You know how White Horses got its name?
And the background master them, you know?
Yeah, but you know why. But yeah, we know the background master, but you know why they call it White Horses.
Why them call it? So the white background master them did there.
Yeah, man, but that too.
Too.
But
two slave thing, you know.
Yeah. But
so,
the whole heap of waves them were always out there, so you know. It look like the White Horse were always come in, because you know say a peer wave always come in.
Yeah, man. Peer wave come out of them place, man. I thought of the waterfall.
Right. Yeah. That's why some years said that's why he got the name White Horse from the background master.
Yeah, man. That's why I get the name White Horses. You know, see it.
Because as a
and it's a rich place still, you know.
Yeah, man.
Because right now, them old time hippies people and them old time slavery people, they have them place down in background master there. You know, see it. So it really get the name.
Yeah.
You know, see it. Yeah, man.
All right, sir.
So you don't know, say, I have to dig up you and your family, them, you know.
Yeah, man. Respect, man.
Yeah, man. I have to dig up GT to the dancehall master, because Thursday night time, you know, me lock on him, you know, me.
Yeah, man. My every time for GT Friday night still, man.
Yeah, man. See?
Yeah. All right.
Aye. So me now stop and big up the Winchester crew, them, see?
Yeah, man. All right. Give thanks to
big up yourself, you hear me, father.
All right.
Aye.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Stepping razor. Home stretch. All right. So we see who first out of the blocks. All right. Still first come, first serve. You know. Hello. Greetings.
Aye.
Yeah, man. You have to do it fast. Cutting time. Cut and go through time now.
Aye.
Well, cut and go through, you know.
Last year, Rastafari. Yeah, Roger, you don't know. Right now, Rastafari, man, I bless up. So let the Rastafari be praised. See, I man is Ganja servant from Port Royal. See, in the city of peace and love. See?
Yeah.
You don't know Rastafari, man, I defend. So, I man, I give thanks and praise to the Creator today. See, in Psalms 93. Thy throne is of old, O Jah, Rastafari, Selassie, see, in the Almighty. See? So, Roger, right now, their name is partly Kemetic and half Israelite, see, because their name Ra, which means Amen, Ra, the sun god, see, and Jah come from the Amen cult, same way from Egypt, see. So right now, you don't know Moses was born in Egypt, and the world must know this, see. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5, see. Yeshua teach I and I, say, I and I must preach to the Israelite, the last house of Israel, which is African first, see. I'm going to make the people them know, say, that the Gentiles are European, and the Jews are African, see. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5, tell you that. The Samaritans are Persians, Indians. He said, don't preach to the Indians or the Gentiles. He said, preach to the Africans, the last house of Israel first. Saying, well, we don't know, say, I and I Creator keep his promise, you know, because Yeshua said, saying, Matthew chapter 24, saying, Matthew chapter 24, verse 34, tell us, say, this generation shall not pass until I come. So I and I Creator keep his promise. Yahweh
all right, you know. Stick up in. Stick up in. Yeah, man, stick up in now.
Rastafari is the Messiah. So now, at judgment, them are going to look.
Yeah, more you stick up in still, you know, Ras. More you stick up in still, yeah? You hear me?
All
All right, you know, hear me. All right, I cut and go through time now. We give thanks for everything we say and the philosophies and them things, but I cut and go through time now. All right. Yeah, man, I hit this for the stepping razor today, you know. It was a